Welcome to the NetMC Marine Digital Dialog video tutorial. Video 2, System Configuration. In this second video tutorial, we will cover the configuration of the system, including selecting the digital video recorder model for use, more about button configuration, events, actions, and anomalies. Selecting the digital video recorder. Selecting the digital video recorder, or DVR, is a step that many customers will not have to perform, as the digital dialog software will have been supplied with the DVR being used. However, it is useful to cover DVR selection in this tutorial. Note, digital dialog only works with NetMC Marine's range of digital video recorders and video overlays. In this tutorial, we shall be using the DDLR model. As can be seen, we currently have no video in the live screen. This is because we have not selected the correct DVR. Click on the Configure tab, then choose Select Video Encoder Source. The DVR currently selected is Channel 2 of an XOPS, so we need to change this. Clicking the DDLR selects that type of recorder and returns us to the main screen. If a video source is connected to the DVR, then we should get a picture on the live screen. If no picture is seen, check all power and video connectors. If this makes no difference, select Video Encoder Configuration in the Configure tab, drop-down menu, and note the settings on the screen. These can then be sent to NetMC Marine for checking. Do not change any settings in this screen without instructions from NetMC Marine support staff. Go back into the Configure tab and select Options. We can see several tick boxes. By default, all but the Enable 7350 trigger boxes should be ticked. Unticking any of the boxes should be restricted to advanced users of the system whom have special requirements. The Enable 7350 trigger boxes are only relevant to DDLR users, as these units have a trigger to remotely start and stop the 7350 range of DVRs. Note, the 7350 trigger is a 12-volt DC analog output. Each of the two triggers can start more than one 7350. For instance, if you had two standard 7350 units and two black box 7350 units, trigger 1 could be used to start both the blue boxes, and trigger 2 could start both black boxes. The standard wiring supplied with the DDLR would operate one 7350 per trigger channel, but these cables are easily modified. Click the box to enable trigger 1. On the GUI, we can see that trigger 1 has a red X. This is because we have selected trigger 1, but no 7350 is connected. Let's disable the trigger. The red X will now change to indicate the trigger is not active. As shown in the system overview tutorial, the log buttons can be labeled be associated to an event type and have an action allocated to them. We will now look more closely at event types, actions, and anomalies. Note: DDL is a project-driven application. As such, a project must always be selected before changing any project configurations, including events and buttons. Let's select the Video Manual project. Event types are managed in the Configure tab under Customize User Events. There are two default user events, EV and XX. These may be sufficient for very simple operations. However, it is more likely that other project-specific events may be required. User events are designated by two-digit alphanumeric codes. Click the Add button to create a new event. Note the system prevents you from duplicating a code. I will create a code called MG for marine growth. I want this to appear in the log, so I tick the relevant box. If this is to be an anomaly, we would tick this box as well. And for on-screen video overlay, let's leave that one empty. But I want it to be in the export. So let's apply this. We now have a new user event called NG. We can edit the event by simply ticking the boxes or unticking the boxes. We can now add another event. And go back and edit that one. Note, it is not possible to edit or delete the EV and XX codes. Apply to save the settings. We can now configure the buttons using the new event types. Click on the Project tab, then select Customize Event Buttons. Let's label button 3 Marine Growth. Rename the button by over-typing the existing text. Allocate the MG code from the drop-down menu. Note, the anomaly box is already ticked as we set this in the master event code file. Enter text into the message field for displaying in the log. I will make two buttons with the anode AN code. I will tick button 4 as an anomaly. This indicates that only anode depleted is considered as an anomaly. If the client wants an anomaly report from this dive, all marine growth events would be listed, but only the anode depleted events would be listed. The combination of event codes and anomaly status allows for a wide range of reports to be generated. Before we use the buttons, let's look at actions. The Has action box is ticked for button 1, and the action Record Start allocated from the drop-down menu. The actions are mostly self-explanatory. For example, Record Start instructs the main recorder to start recording. Set NG to take a still. Anode depletion a clip. And anode OK a still. Now apply. We shall start a new dive to make the new log entries easier to see. Let's give it a friendly name of Events Demo. Now create new. Clicking Dive Start will start the main recording. Notice the clock has started. The Record Start command has been entered into the log. This is optional and will be covered in a later tutorial. Clicking ROV in water has no action, but is entered in the log. Click Marine Growth button. We will see a still being taken, and also an on-screen display. The use of on-screen display will be covered in a later tutorial. A clip is started when we click the anode depletion button. Clicking the anode OK button generates a still. Note the clip is still running. I will stop the clip and stop the main recording. We can now generate the daily log if required. This will be as a docx file. Click on Publish. Go to Select Report and select Report Required. We will do Demo Daily Report. Go back into Publish and go down to Run Report. Note Demo Daily Report has been selected. Click Run Report. Select the location for the report to be stored and click Save. The system shows you the progress of the report. We can now view the report . and print it off for signing, if required. It is also possible to create the report as an HTML report. Go to Publish, Export dialog as a bundle. Now right-click on the file and open with Internet Explorer. Here we have all the media files. You can open a media file from within the report. This ends the second video tutorial on the NetMC Marine Digital Dialog System Configuration.